Have we just seen the biggest upset of the Impact season so far? I don't know, I probably think so. Let me know what you think, but let's get into the CT half between Nip and Imperial. We're mainly focusing on Nip's CT side, just because of how they basically demolished Imperial Valkyries. Um, they had a super good game plan of just being super aggressive, always taking fights, and it all starts off with this pistol. You can see that they just run down mid, they take all of mid control and all of banana control away from Imperial, forces Imperial then to run through apps, where it just turns into a 5v5 shootout. Nip end up winning out the trades. Ramsey and Naomi hit some nice shots, Sana hit some couple nice ones back, and it just kind of turns into the shootout. Naomi then picks up these two nice kills, nice little taps, super nice. Um, and it all starts off with that pistol. You can see again, starting from here. Normally the eco rounds, you will see CTs getting a bit aggressive, a bit confident. You can see Vilga peeking down banana. It kind of it's kind of assures that it is going to be an ace hit. They don't see anyone banana, so obviously they're not gonna they can't go B without getting banana control. It's very simple. Nip end up closing the round out. They end up being quite convincing in the end. Then this is the double eco um, from Imperial. So again, nothing really happens. You can see that it is the eco, so that CTs are going to get aggressive again. Um, this round turns kind of scrappy for Nip because this setup, which is actually all in all a pretty good one. Obviously you got Ramsey taking the first contact, and then Kiara is basically the bait. Not the bait. The Kiara's the closer. Sorry. Ramsey's the bait. But unfortunately they just swing past Ramsey's aim, and they end up killing Kiara in the corner, and then Ramsey just stays around for a little bit too long, and ends up getting punished for it. I would have liked to fall back to CT, and then you can play your opportunities. You can play with the retakes in, but Vilga makes the super heads up play. Talking about the aggression, she just pushes through banana, ends up finding these three guys here, and basically closes the round. Saz actually does quite a nice attempt of bringing back the 1v3. She ends up getting two of them, but Naomi ends up closing it out. So again, so we've had the pistol where they've been super aggressive. We've had the third round where they've been pretty aggressive in terms of things, and that just covers them throughout the whole entire half. Um, this is the thing that you'll see quite often towards the B side between Vilga and Naomi, who I've got to say have a super good chemistry between them. They have a super good chemistry between them of how they want to play B, and they're always on the same page. It's really nice to watch. Now, most of the time, what you'll see as a CT is with banana is you'll probably smoke this bottom one. They will probably smoke top banana away from you, so you can't pick down. They'll probably nade. They'll leave a molly on nade the corner, and then they'll nade into sandbags. And at that point, as a CT, there isn't any more trading you could possibly do. You kind of have to give it up. You have to kind of fall into a setup. Basically, CT coffins. Usually, you'll get the coffins guy to flash, and then they both peek out at the same time, and catch them on a timing while they're trying to set up for the B hit. But that's not Nip. Nip don't want to do that. Same with this A setup. A lot of the time, if you're going to try and keep the B control, then you kind of play a little bit passive on A. You play more of a default style. You play probably one here, one here is probably the style. And then if they take brackets from you, so say for instance they smoke this, and they flash this corner, you kind of fall back into like the default of this and like anywhere around here is pretty good actually. Most of the time it's this though, and you kind of set up this crossfire, like that crossfire with the guy on site, obviously with the pit, and then obviously you've got this guy holding all of long that can help the shot guys too. So that's the kind of setups that you will find yourselves in as a CT side, just because it's so difficult to keep the T's out. But Nipper aren't just not bothered with that. They just don't care. They're gonna flash themselves in. They're gonna nade the smoke open. You get Vilga flashing Naomi into the site, and she actually ends up picking up Saz here, and it kind of puts Imperial Valkyries into a tough spot, because what you also see is the aggression inside of apps from AIM. So if we go back a little second, so you'll see, just speed it up, so you'll see Ramazan and AIM, while this is going on the B site, you'll see Ramazan and AIM just walking into B. You'll have Ramazan holding this, you'll have AIM walking into B. And then as soon as Naomi picks up the kill and Saz, rightly so, she falls back. But that then triggers that then just triggers the A aggression coming in from AIM. She just peeks spoiler. She ends up finding 22 in the back, and it kind of forces then Imperial Valkyries just to go into this B hit. Super good utility usage from Naomi. Super good timing on it. And then she ends up getting a two-piece and closing the round out basically. And again, it doesn't stop. More aggression coming in. You can see Ramzin peeking mid and getting Anna. Pretty default pick in terms of things, but then it's mainly this setup again. So you can see the heavy banana, but not only heavy banana, they have the double set bracket setup. Bracket setup. They have it in, and then they have all of apps control as well. So it's super difficult for Imperial to actually do anything on the map because they have no control of anything. Nipper just doing a super good job of just controlling everything. You can see Vilga and Naomi now are gonna push through this. Um, Again, just gaining all the information that they possibly can. So you can see they both push through. Naomi plays close. It's just super fast, bearing in mind like it's a minute and 19 seconds into the round, and Naomi is in mid push through B. Like it's insane. It's insane how fast they're playing. Naomi ends up dying to Cat right here. And then Vilga gets a trade on Cat. But then it's like more aggression. Obviously, you got Vilga that's pushed through here, that's sub bottom mid, but then that's not all. Then Kiara comes and peeks brackets to try and make sure that brackets is clear. So they gain more information of that. Is it risky? Absolutely. Could Saz be sat in any of these corners? Absolutely. Um, like, could she have lost the team around? Definitely. But that's the risk that they want to take. They believe in their aim. They believe that they can outduel them. And Kiara now cuts off all of brackets, kind of limits the only spot for Saz to be is in apps. Aim peeks it, she gets a kill. Moving on to the next round. So again, this time instead of the default like apps play, they're gonna go into a 3B. They do a couple of nice nades down banana. They end up getting 2 kills, but that's not at all. Like they realise Saz is there. Naomi's obviously just going to the fight with her. It's a 5v3. Do they need to push? No. Could they just set up as a normal default? Absolutely, they can just trade this out. But that's not what they want to do. What they're going to do is now they're going to set up for another flash plate into car, like they have been doing all half. They're going to end up catching Saz, and the round's over at that point. Later on in the half, you'll see now these lot rotating back. You'll see Naomi push through banana and fight the bomb on banana, and then the round's pretty much done. No chance for Tori to win. And all of this play spawns from the B guys. The B guys are just so aggressive. The way that they play it is super fun to watch. So again, they know that what's it called? They know that they're on a low buy again. This time they kind of realize this. They're like, okay, low buy. Let's just set a crossfire up inside. We don't need to give away like anything. And this is the first time in what? How many rounds has it been since A4? Well, 6 rounds. So the first time in 6 rounds that they've got themselves into a pretty default setup and on what we're used to seeing on Inferno. Um, You can see the Coffins player and the CT's player setting up for the CT for the B hit. You can see the guy Kiara peeking long to make sure for the CT wrap. You've got Amazon with the ARP holding short, and you've got Amy holding apps. This is a normal. This is the first time we've seen a normal default setup of Inferno, and they deal with it super well. The good timing on again on the smoke, good flashes from Naomi. Obviously nice two piece, and then this is also just super heads up for Nip. They realize even though they are just basically shitting on them, like they're not stupid enough to realize when it's a good time just to slow the round down a little bit. You can see in this spot right now, if you pause it and you look at it, there is absolute no win condition for Imperial Valkyries. Um, they their post plan is terrible. They don't have anything that they can fall back on. At the end of the day, they're going to want to take something. So you can see that Aim is on the slow flanking banana. They're not going to kill her. They can't obviously take this. Aim is just playing it super passive, making sure she doesn't die. Obviously, you got the two guys in CT holding for the CT push. They can't push there, otherwise they're dead. Their only way of potentially winning the round is trying to get this part of Coffin's control, and try and get in like a post plant setup off that. But instead, Nip realised this. Naomi and Vilga again, their chemistry is so good. Just realised that they need to fall back, and they just hold this high-low setup inside of Coffins, waiting for Imperial Valkyries just to push into them, which they know they have to if they want to try and win the round. And they realise this. They end up clearing up the kills. Good trade. So Kiara to pick up the final kill and the round win. Now this round is around that. Um, this round is around where it, if it goes good. Oh no, this is not the round. This is the next round, I believe. Okay. Yeah, so it kind of a misplay by Naomi. She plays a little bit too aggressive. Obviously, you see the flash in to clear car again, something that's been quite common on their CT side, and playing it super aggressive. She ends up needing the smoke open, and then another flash will come in so she can peek it. But the timing of it's quite bad. They have a good anti-flash setup going on banana with Kat and Saz, and Saz ends up killing Naomi, and then as soon as Naomi gets the kill, so if you just go back a little bit, so you can see that after rip that Nip go for this aggressive app setup, so you can see Kiara looking into the window, ready for a flash into bottom stairs of the apps for aim to peek, and you've got Ramsden looking over with the ARP, just in case anybody walks out this way and basically tries to kill aim in the side. Ramsden's got the trade. Um, and then they get the information, they fall back. Super good play. They don't give away their lives. And then you can see this now happens with Naomi. Naomi then dies, and then as soon as Naomi dies, it's an instant trigger from aim just to walk forward and pick up 20 and 23 in the back. The only unfortunate thing for them is that these guys sped up a little bit too quick before they could even react to something that was happening. Um, it was just an unfortunate round, basically. Naomi, a little bit of a misplay. She was a bit over aggressive, but the play was there. Like it wasn't the fact that she was making the play on her own. Obviously, she had the flashes. She needed open the smoke. There was another flash then in the smoke as well. Um, it was just a good flash play from Imperial, where the flash popped here and both the guys peeked from each of these sides and ended up killing her. But a little bit of a misplay by overextending. And then it was a good action, a good reaction on A to walk through ups and kill 23 in the back. But yeah, just a little bit unfortunate that Imperial made a good play and just sped the round up a little bit. You can see that the retake doesn't go that way, super difficult to retake, no surprise. And again, they're going to now this B setup again. Now this is the round that shows how ugly this type of playstyle can be. You can see Naomi again trying to kind of make a hero play a little bit. So you can see like the action again is still pretty good. Like the setup is there. It's just that Naomi gets caught in the middle of nowhere. She gets caught in no man's land because all that happens is the flashlight comes over. They break open the smoke. Naomi runs through. But then the problem is with this smoke. This smoke then comes back up. So there is no trade possibility for Naomi. For Vilga on Naomi right here. They nade open this smoke and it gets the kill on Naomi. And then Vilga has to run away. There's no possible way that she could trade her. Um, so a little bit of an overheat from Nip, um, but their reaction is good. They fought back. They have good stall nades. That is coming up in a second. Good smoke, good timing of it. Obviously good flash as well. But you can see in the meantime that this is all is happening. Ramsden's just sat in mid. She's just looking down at all of mid. She knows it has to be banana at this point, and if they do want to then go A, they have to run back into Ramsden's orb, and it's a super heads up play from her. Really good job, really good read of the map. The problem with what Ramsden's done here is the fact that she just stuck around for a little bit too long. As soon as she fires the AWP onto these three guys, she should just fall back. She's got the information, that's all she needs. She can set up into this setup, and aim comes here, and you've got a nice crossfire onto mid. You can obviously stall with the grenades. Don't know if they have any smokes, but she just ends up staying for a little bit too long. 23 ends up killing both of them because aim tries to come mid and help her. Just a little bit unfortunate. Just a little bit of an overheat in this round that's lost them the game and made it 10-11 and put them on pistols. And then Kiara ends up saving an AK, which actually becomes pretty important in this round that's coming up now. So you can see staying with their super aggressive tactics, they realize that this round Imperial Valkyries just haven't done enough banana to convince them that they've got like that they are trying to go to B. You can see that the nades, they've smoked up banana, they're naded there as well, but they've just not done enough to convince Nip that it's going to be here. Vilga ends up being aggressive again, peeking banana, clears banana, and realizes it's not going to be B. They're just going to wrap it back to A, and they're going to have a 5v5 on A site. Nip realised this, Vilga communicated quite well. Aim and Kiara get into some good spots to deal with it and just to delay. Kiara hits some nice shots onto Cat. Nice little one tap. Aim is there to back up. Super good. And then the flood just comes in straight through barrels, straight through CT, straight through arches, and they get the trades, and it leaves Anna on her own in a 1v4, 1v3, and Nip end up winning the round. And then this again, they just fall back into a nice setup. They kind of get scared of the B take. Imperial have put a little bit fewer people here now. They're using more nades to back them off, and it's just your normal B setup. But again, Ramsden has brackets control because she's peeking into second mid. Aim is peeking into up, so the aggression is still slightly there. They're not giving all the map up. But it's still there. Ramsden ends up falling back, and they just end up going into a normal Inferno default. Kiara's just waiting for mid so she can flash, see if she can flash aim into here to peek. But it's not needed because this B setup is just going to be super good. So you can see that that the stall is pretty good. The nade is really good. They're actually going to end up trying to set up for a flash play right here. Naomi actually ends up missing the flash, but Vilga still gets the 2 kills somehow, some way. And he ends up leaving 23 in a tough spot where she has to kill Kiara. Kiara comes out on top, And again, a little bit more aggression from Ramzin, who's now just picking mid, and she picks up Tori and ends up cleaning up the round for Nip. Um, you just, it's such a beautiful game to watch when they're playing it that well. When the chemistry's that well, and when Naomi and Kiara are playing super well too. Plus Aim on top of that, who's doesn't get phased by her scoreboard. She's constantly making the plays that she needs to, being aggressive. Um, and it's super good to watch. It's a super good game plan by NATO and by Vilgar, who's obviously worked on it and seen that this is how they can punish Imperial, and it's worked a bloody treat because it was one hell of a game from them and a one hell of a CT side from them.